Y'all love updates on this Rolls-Royce, so let's keep doing it. Okie dokie. Well, there's the yellow Cadillac, our Scarface Cadillac. It's for sale up on eBay. I've got it at, I've got it for sale. It's ready to rock. This thing here, these floor mats don't go to this car. They go to the other Silver Shadow. I did get these floor mats. These are the Luxe mats from Lloyd, not sponsored. I paid for these. They let you pick the binding you want in the pile. This binding matches perfectly. I just picked a tan and it just fits. I'm going to see if I can get them embroidered. I'm going to take them to an embroidery shop and see if they'll allow me to put the big RR right there. Put me a Rolls-Royce there. And they were like $200. Well worth it, you know. We've pulled the seat out so that we can clean the seat and get down behind there and get that cleaned out. We did get the key in the last video. Here it is. And I just put the ignition in. I was playing with that. I'm trying to do this one-handed. That's what she said. Oh, I had that up my bum. So I'm going to be doing some cleaning because this thing is just filthy. Like putting that back together, my hands were black. I had to go wash my hands. Now I've got a key that fits everything. I got the battery off. I was super cleaning. I was trying to clean up this fuse block here. And so it takes some really unusual fuses. I don't know what these are called. Somebody tell me in the comments what those type of fuses are called and where do I get them? Because I think some of them are bad. I think this whole thing is just dirty. I was spraying it off with contact cleaner and scrubbing it with a brush just to get it clean. Because quite frankly, a lot of times, most of your problems are just that everything's dirty. It's just dirty. The car is just dirty. It looks like it only has 8,000 miles on it because there's a 0 there, right? So it looks like it's only got about 8,000 miles, which I believe. These cars don't get driven much. I've taken the dash out because we're going to refinish the dash. And so what I'm going to do now is I'm going to use some of this. I don't know if this is exactly the right cleaner. I'm going to try some of this, but this is some cleaner. And whoops, oof. Trying to do this one-handed, you know. And I've got myself a brush, and I'm just going to clean everything. I wish I could record it, but I don't really have a way to do that. I guess I could get my tripod. Your Videobob, you probably have one. Shit. Every time, right? Just gonna do this. You know, you gotta use the brush to get down into these little corners and crevices. Car's not gonna go anywhere. How crazy it is that you don't need a key or anything to do that, right? You could just, oh my gosh, what a difference that made. Just in a few seconds, because you can't really get to these. And look at that one's loose. It shouldn't be loose. But look how much better that is. Like, tremendously better. So that's what I'm doing. I'm just sitting here doing these tedious tasks. For some reason, this coolant gauge is loose. I think that it could be that these rib nuts in here are, it's not even gonna let you tighten it. Don't over torque stuff like this, you'll regret it. You know, each of these gauges can be easily swapped out. That's one of the cool things about the longevity of these kind of cars. Like, you know, with a modern dash cluster in a modern car, you can't just change out the individual gauge. You'd have to change the entire cluster, right? This, you can take each gauge is its own thing. And not all of, like this fuel gauge is made by Smiths, as is the coolant and the oil, the amp gauge made by Lucas. All right, I mean, each of these can be swapped out. So if one's not working, every single thing in here is its own component. Look at that, you know? And that's how you can restore these cars. Look, every screw in here is loose. Just every one of them. Everything you try is just a little loose. For the most part, I just did those. I need to change this clock out, actually, because it don't take. But that's what's kind of cool about these cars that makes them restorable, because you'll notice every single thing is its own little entity. This vent, right? This pull, this clock, this thing, everything is its own module that can be taken apart and off. Every single thing. Everything, right? And that's not how modern cars are made. And so it's tedious. It can be expensive, but it can be done. These old Rolls-Royces will outlast modern cars made today. That's why most of all the Rolls-Royces ever made are still in existence today and on the road. I've seen, you know, they might have problems, but I've never seen a Rolls-Royce that wouldn't start. I gotta be honest. All right, I don't know if you can even tell, but I've been cleaning the heck out of this thing. Looks so much better. And then I've got a black restorer stuff I'm gonna put on here next. And it'll bring back the that nice crisp black color instead of this gray faded color where it's been oxidized. And every one of these cars I've seen, this is all wore out right here. I wish they had made another bezel for this that was replaceable, because there's really no way to repaint this and make it look good, because every one of them looks like this, unfortunately. So just clean it as best you can. This clock isn't working, and I need to remove it and see if I can't get it working, or send it in to get it replaced. Sometimes you're better off it doesn't work, because it will run down your battery eventually. But just cleaning with a brush is the secret. You know, I've learned watching all these detail videos of different cars being cleaned. Just using the brush just makes a big difference. I cleaned up this Alpine, although it's not working, and I'll probably swap it out. It is a nice Alpine, but I don't know if it works. I just want the radio to work and be able to hook up to my phone. So, although, you know, there is a big amp system in the car and speakers and things that needs to be redone. But anyway, progress. Another chemical gas product I like, black on black. And this is not an endorsement. These guys need to endorse me, but I just want to show you how this stuff works. You see, when you got this ashy color like this, it just brings that stuff back. All right, and that'll dry and that'll look great. Works on plastics and lenses. Anywhere you've got some black plastic trim, like even this, right? I mean, that's unsavable, but at least it's black, right? So what I'm gonna do, this thing is leather, this foreign, but there's a lot of spots in here, right? But I'm just gonna hose it down, you know? I'll wipe this down later. But these little plastic plates that have lost their blackness, like this little handle thing here. All right. Look at this hot spray right on this radio. I don't give a shit. All right. People are like, no, what are you doing? I'm sure there's some detail guys out there watching this going, oh my God, what are you doing? But I'm telling you, this stuff works, all right? And it works on clear plastic as well, because I've found, like, doing headlights, taillights, just anything, like, look, see, it's totally clear. But when you wipe it away, look how black the ring is, all right? It doesn't fog up the glass. It just makes black things black again, that's all. And it gives it a nice sheen and a shine, and it lasts for a pretty good long time. If it's not outside getting wet, it lasts a long time. So this is a trick that I use. I detailed my engine bay with this stuff because it will turn like all your hoses and black plastic stuff nice and, look at that, look at that. Remember how that was all brown and looked like a turd? Look at it now. Way better. You know, it's going to be a little greasy and glossy for a minute. You wipe it off, and it'll be nice. But man, that has made a huge difference. Huge difference. Shit looks like new. Sorry, you couldn't see on the camera. I'm trying to do what I'm doing with my, and then, you know, like, okay, look at these buttons here, right? Look at them. They're terrible. Okay. Where's my spray? Here it is. Watch this. I mean, if you were in the car flipping business and your job was just to get a car ready to flip, you buy a case of this stuff. Secret weapon right here. Look at that. Look at the switches now. Right? They look wet. Now they'll dry, but they will stay looking like that for a while. Look at that. Do you see what I'm seeing? Do you see what I'm seeing? I'm trying to zoom. Hold on. That's what I was trying to do right there. You know, you get it way in there. But that's secret weapon. Now, if you're working with actual leather and vinyl, like there's other materials for that. But plastic has a particular, you know, especially old plastic. This damn, this thing is so damn glossy now that it looks like it's wet, but it isn't. I'm really, look at that, is a 10,000% improvement. Just simply cleaning it, getting the crud off of it, and spraying it with that black. That thing looks new. It looks new. Where's the dang flashlight at? So now you can see the greasiness of it. So I'll wipe it down and get the wet off of it, but it'll remain black. Yep. Well, I've shifted to trying to play with the electronics. I was trying to get the lights to work. Can't get these dash lights to work. I did, however, get the turn signal to work. So this one, and this is a feet, so I've now got this to work, but the running lights, or rather park lights, which would be connected to the dash lights, don't seem to be getting any power. But we have, that's working now. So that wasn't working before. It's a good thing. When I turn on the headlight, I get one headlight. It's a Wallflower song. One headlight, which I've got. So I want to get these lights to work. And this, I'm not getting power to that clock, but I just went and tested the clock. Clock doesn't work. I put power to this thing. It tells you right on here how to do it. Where's my lens? It says 12 volt there, but it no ticky. And I was trying to figure out how to take it apart. You know, it's got some little plastic rubber bits here and things and little screw. I can't seem to figure out how to separate it. If I could take it apart, I could probably fix it. Because it's just like any other little clock, you know, it's just got a little spinny thing in there. And I've tried putting power to it, and 12 volts. And it's not ticking. But I bet it, you know, with a little lube and a little modification, we can get it to work. I don't know if it'd keep time, but maybe. I've fixed clocks like this before. Usually you have a little spinning motor. It runs on very little power. Just like any clock that you have, any quartz clock. Is it quartz? I don't know if it says quartz, but you know, it doesn't take a lot to run it. And then you have a secondary light bulb that lights up when you turn on the dash. These clocks never work. I don't think I have a single work, except for my Phantom. The clocks are always, they don't work. They don't go. But, so I'll play around with it. They're a couple $100, these things. And do I really care? Is that important? Like to have it, but not that big a deal. I'll play with this later. I think I have a good source for the ground. You know, like I'm getting voltages. So, put this where I can see it a little better. There you go. I don't know if you can see that, but so I'm getting 13 volts there. Getting 13 volts there. Getting nothing on this bank here on either side. All right, that's not good. And I don't know if the car has to be running for those to, I mean, here, I'll put the, I'm on, okay, so I'm on accessory and I got headlights on. So I've got the engine in the run position, you know. I'm not getting voltage. I don't know what side the voltage is supposed to be on. I don't know if that car has to be running for those to be hot. These are diodes here. But I'm just trying to find random voltages. That one's hot. So hot on both sides. Okay, so sorry if you couldn't see that. Okay, that's hot. That's giving me weird random 13 on that side and not on that side. So this fuse here, a lot of times they're not even blown, they're just cruddy. This is hard to do with holding a camera. All right, I need to use my hands. According to this little diagram here, that top one says interior lights, C-box and boot lights, charge plug, clock, cigar lighters, petrol filled door, split parking. None of those things are working. And that is potentially that one. And that was the fuse I just pulled out, and of course it broke. However, here's the deal, right? If I take a glass fuse that doesn't go there, right? I've got lights on, headlights on, ignition on. Shouldn't this like spark or something? I put power across it. I'm not getting any lights or activity. Must be something else, because I'm using this fuse to fuse the two and I'm getting nothing. I don't know, I seem to be getting constant power to that clock feed right there, but the lights are not on. I can't get this to work, which is probably just crappy. These gauges don't test. Let me see if that's on. That should show oil, doesn't. But not a single light bulb works, other than, you know, that generator bulb works. If I start the car, not sure what that indicator indicates. Trying to see, that indicator works. Headlights are on. Wipers wipe. Or look how shitty that is. It only comes up to the middle of your face. You gotta remember, this car was designed to be a right-hand drive car, so they only designed it for that little area over there to get clean. These windshield wipers are absolutely worthless. Worthless. Radio doesn't work. There's just no power going to the dash. You know? It works. This window all of a sudden doesn't work. Locks don't work. See, kind of, sort of. No door light. I can't figure it out. Now this thing, being the panel light dimmer, has a restrictor in it to dim the lights. But that would not prevent the running lights from coming on. Unless every running light just happens to be burned out and every single gauge light burned out. I find that to be unlikely. I mean, maybe if an overpower situation happened, it could, you know, but it's unlikely. You know, I need to get I don't have a power probe. I need to get a power probe and I can force feed power into the car. But I'm just I'm a little defeated right now. I mean, I got some work done. I got this nice and clean. And I'm going to start working on the wood soon. You know, this wood, I think, will clean up nicely. Need to re-glue this. I'm just going to put some wood glue on it and then clamp it. Like Jed. And then do a light sand on it. And then maybe respray it. But it's coming along. I'm really thinking more and more about keeping this car if I can get certain things on it fixed. So there's an update on this Corniche. A disappointing one. I was hoping to get it more further along, but all right. If anybody knows anything about these and can help, Gary Mavers help. Some of the other people working on these, hook a brother up. Otherwise, it's just going to be a nightmare. Thanks for watching. Stay tuned. More to come.